As a responsible citizen, it is my duty to inform you and to educate you. Massive theft of public funds is now looming at the Ministry of Health. President William Ruto's administration has given the contract to supply medical equipment to Kenyan hospitals to just one supplier, whose details have interestingly been kept secret. In this video, I will explain how William Ruto plans to steal billions of shillings from the Social Health Authority, the so-called SHA, why there is great secrecy surrounding the matter, and the politicians who have been well fed and instructed by William Ruto to defend the government at all cost. Without wasting any more time, let's get after it. A multi-billion shilling deal has been signed between county governments in Kenya and the secret medical equipment supplier, whose details remain unknown. Under this deal, the secret supplier will supply equipment such as X-rays, MRIs, laboratory services, cardiology, urology, ear, nose, and throat services, nuclear medical equipment, among others, on a lease basis. The unnamed supplier will instantly reap billions of shillings as the leasing fees. These leasing fees will accumulate from the money paid by the Social Health Authority on behalf of thousands of poor patients across the country. This is a cash minting machine for President William Samoei Arap Ruto, and I will substantiate what I have just said. Now, let me break it down to you so that we can be on the same page. The leasing fees to be paid to the secret medical equipment vendor is to be obtained from the service fees charged by health facilities, and it will be paid directly through the Social Health Authority, SHA. Now, documents that have been seen by the Nation Media Group have indicated that the supplier will get about 60 to 80% of the funds. Now, what do I mean? I mean the following. Number one, if, for example, a SHA-compliant hospital is repairing a posterior cruciate ligament, which is covered by SHA, to the tune of about 280,000 Kenya shillings, then the secret equipment vendor will get 345,000 Kenya shillings, which is far much more than the SHA cover, while the hospital will only remain with 65,000. You want to tell me that the entire 345,000 shillings will be pocketed by the secret medical supplier? Let's go ahead. Number two, for patients seeking the Bentall's procedure, which is essentially the replacement of the aortic valve root and the ascending aorta with graft, SHA will cover them up to the tune of 1 million Kenya shillings, but the equipment vendor will receive a staggering 760,000 Kenya shillings, or 75%. The hospital will only remain with around 247,000 shillings, which is essentially 25% of the total value. Again, somebody wants me to believe that the 760,000 Kenya shillings, or the 75% of the value of the procedure, will be pocketed by the medical equipment supplier? I mean, does the government think we are fools? Let's proceed still. Number three, patients who need unblocking of clogged arteries through a procedure called balloon angioplasty are covered by SHA to the tune of 145,600 Kenya shillings. Out of this, the secret equipment supplier will pocket a staggering 137,500 shillings, while the health facility will only remain with 8,000 shillings. That is how messy it will be. This is precisely the reason why the so-called SHA will not work. If the Ministry of Health will not compensate hospitals for medical services they have offered, then they will either shy away from it, or they will simply resolve to increase the cost of their services. And by so doing, matters will even be more complex in the days ahead. If you still don't believe it, then take it right from me that the deal between the Ministry of Health and the secret medical equipment supplier is nothing but a cash minting machine for William Samoei Ruto's 2027 presidential campaign. And I greatly suspect that their named medical supplier is actually the Adani Group that was indicted in the US. This idea is not new in Kenya. Daniel Arap Moi also siphoned a lot of cash from NHIF at his convenience, and at that time, there was no Adani. It is quite clear that the William Ruto administration has no intention of solving the real problems of Kenyans. This government does not intend to help its citizens. Its only intention is to steal as much as it can possibly steal, so as to remain in power and thus continue oppressing the very citizens who elected them to office. To successfully obtain funds for his presidential campaigns in 2027, William Ruto is on a mission to influence politicians and lawmakers to do three things. Just three things. Three. Number one, William Ruto is influencing members of the parliament to scrap public participation when it comes to development projects, and this they are doing in pretense that it will fast track their implementation. This was actually confirmed by Minority Leader Junet Mohamed in Taita Taveta County yesterday. Here's the clip.
Hii mambo ya kuomba ruhusa kwa kila mtu lazima ikwishe. Na mimi nimeongea kama mkubwa wa upinzani. Kwa sababu serikali haiwezi kuomba ruhusa mahakama ili wajenge stima, waombe kanisa ili wajenge stima, waombe civil society ili waombe stima.
Number two, William Ruto is on a mission to deconstruct those criticizing the government in public gatherings and in social media, on Facebook, on TikTok, in Twitter, and everywhere else. Hassan Joho is the puppet that Ruto has urged to pass this message. The video is here.
Nataka niwaambie kuna watu sahihi, sisi tukiwa hapa, wao wako kwa mtandao. Ewe, amunisikii? Kuna watu tukiwa hapa, wao wako kwa mtandao. Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi ni waziri wako Mheshimiwa Rais, nakwambia nchi haiwezi kujengwa na mtandao. Nchi haiwezi kujengwa na watu ambao kazi yao ni Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Na mimi nawaambia leo, nawapatia notice, wasione wao peke yao wana mdomo. Hata sisi tuna mdomo. Wakituletea noma, tutawaletea noma mbaya sana, my friend.
Remember, not long ago, Hassan Joho was one of the biggest critics of President William Ruto. Now that him and William Ruto are eating from the same plate, he can no longer speak against the government. Here is a video of how he used to criticize William Ruto before he came to the bloody table of the president's corruption.
Na kama kuna mtu ako na namba ya William Ruto, arekodi hii video mtumie. Maisha yangu tangu nizaliwe sijawahi kuona mtu muongo, mfisadi, baradhuli, dhabdhabina kama William Samoei Ruto. Jana mimi nilipigwa na mshangao ati William Ruto amesema yeye akichaguliwa ataangalia mambo ya utendakazi wa bandari. Nilimwona nikashangaa sana, nikasema wewe ni muongo sana my friend. Sio wewe William Ruto alikuja Mombasa kanitusi mimi kama gavana wakati nilisema bandari inaenda, akasema wewe hauna elimu. Nikamwambia kama elimu my friend, hapa ni headquarter na mambo ya bandari huwezi nifundisha. Na leo narudia namna hii, William Ruto ni yule yule mrongo, hana ukweli, mtu mbinafsi ambaye yeye anayasema yale ambaye anamfaa yeye peke yake.
The third strategy is to allow the secret Adani Group to steal from citizens by getting the lion's share from the so-called SHA. And I think this is what we have just discussed a few minutes ago. The final and most painful one is to waive the taxes for billionaires who are closer to William Ruto and who are likely to provide additional campaign resources for William Ruto in 2027. In fact, a whistleblower has exposed secret letters written by the Treasury and also by KRA pointing towards the exemption of Devki Group from paying import duties. This is such a treacherous idea for the Kenyan government to execute. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we have found ourselves as a country. I'm not so sure how we can get ourselves out of this mess, but we are forced to wait until 2027. William Ruto and this group can only get out of government through the same method that they came in, and that is through the ballot. At the end of the day, guys, this is just but my opinion. Do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and hit the notification bell for more informative content such as this. In the event you're watching for the first time, just go over to YouTube and search for Patrick Odero. You will get a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something that excites you, I promise you, you will be in for an exciting experience. Cheers.